I found the cute little names that you have for women over here too weird as well. My ex wanted to be able to call me baby. Clap in the room if you like being called baby. Childhood trauma? Or you just like attention? A bit of both. Okay, baby. Sorry, I feel like I just was very. I feel like I should be reported to HR for that. No, it's such ick for me. I hate it. My ex kept trying to call me baby, and I was like, no, you can't. And he was like, what will I call you? And I was like, my name. What a foreign concept. He wouldn't let it go, though. He needed something cute and different to call me, so he Googled what my name is in Irish. Remember the language I told you I do not speak? And he kept calling me Cochine, okay? He might as well have been calling me fucking Pamela. And then every time he'd be like, Cochine, Cochine. My friend was like, why is he impersonating a slot machine? If I ever was a stripper, I wouldn't be though, because I can't wear heels. But if I ever was, it'd be such a good stripper name. Every time you put the dollar in, I'm just like, Cochine. Yeah, I don't like my ex wouldn't drop it as well, this nickname thing. It was the only thing we really had like a serious argument about our whole relationship. He brought it up when he started to show me engagement rings. Also, when he was showing me engagement rings, how do I explain this? At some point in my relationship, my ex decided he was not going to work anymore, okay? Yeah. I know. But see, this is the thing, like, look, every country is xenophobic. It's just, the States, you're a bit more loud about it, okay? But what the story that's not being told over here is that what happens is us immigrants end up coming over and supporting one of your fuckers. That's not the immigrant dream I signed up for. When he showed me the engagement rings, I was like, oh no, if we get married, I'm going to have to pay for the wedding. That's a level of feminism I'm not okay with. But then he goes, don't worry, I'm not going to propose until you let me call you baby. I know. I was like, excuse you. I paid for the rent this month. You can call me madame. Thanks. My ex is nice, though. He's actually really, really lovely. We just have different work ethics and what we want for the future. And I am a little bit older, so all those things they factor in. But I have to say he's nice because I feel quite guilty talking about him. But when I broke up with him, he was very reasonable with it. He was like, you're right, I need to work on all these things. And we had a big conversation about it. And I called my dad and I was like, isn't this amazing that he's been so reasonable? And it was an easy breakup. And my dad was like, he's even too lazy to argue. My dad didn't want me to marry him, just because my dad is he's an Irish man and he's had 4 jobs his whole life. Back home, your identity is kind of based on how much you work, which can be, it's not that it's right, but my dad is not going to accept anybody who hasn't got at least one, So he kept trying to ask my dad for permission to marry me, and my dad knew that he was trying to do that, and I've never heard my dad say so many times, I'm going to feed the cows. We don't even have cows. I don't know what fucking field he was wandering into to overfeed the neighbour's cows. But I'm glad I was with my ex because it taught me a lot about a healthy relationship. Before I was actively dating crazy guys. I loved crazy guys. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's some sort of, mental. But, nice guys would hit on me in my 20s all the time. And they'd be lovely, and they'd be good looking, and they'd have good jobs, and they'd come up, and I'd be like, no, thank you. And there'd be some guy twitching in the corner. I'd be like, that's my man. So, with my ex just being nice, it was so nice to be just taken off the streets, But while I was with him, I decided I should go to therapy, which is very taboo for Irish. Clap if you've gone to therapy, yeah? Oh, yeah, brilliant. Oh, you haven't? Oh, she just confessed to her friend. I haven't told you this, but I'm so sorry, I've been going to therapy. It's really taboo in our country, to be honest. I think we're coming more to terms with it. Best thing I ever did, you could just go and talk about your problems. Before I used to just drink. It's amazing. No, what was so helpful about it is all my exes, they were crazy, they were toxic, they all cheated. But I loved that. Don't get me wrong, I loved a good story to tell my friends, okay? I always had something to complain about. I always had the best stories, and your friends love it too, okay? They don't they want you to date a nice guy, but they don't want to hear the stories. Oh, yeah, he's just nice and treat me right. That's boring, okay? They want to hear he tried to hit me, but he missed. I can do that. He missed. But anyway, so with my therapist, she was like, don't project any of that stuff into this relationship, you know? And just because other guys cheated, it doesn't mean your current boyfriend would cheat. She made me so chill that I wouldn't even have cared if my ex had cheated. Firstly, he's extremely socially introverted and he plays video games all day. If he had cheated, I would have been like, oh my God, you made a friend. She got you off the couch. Who's this amazing woman? My therapist was weird. She's really nice and amazing and she was so helpful with relationship stuff. The thing is, she was only $15 an hour. So, not all the advice was great, okay? Which is fine. You know, if I'm only paying $15 an hour, you just pick and choose, okay? I told her I have really bad anxiety and it comes out, this is so not relatable for anybody, but it comes out through weeing. Does anybody get wee anxiety? No. See, I'm insane, okay? Well, okay, so I have like 5 cups of coffee and 10 cups of tea a day, and then on top of all your water, okay? So when I go to bed at night, I'm like, oh my God, you should go for a wee. You've been drinking all day. But then I'll come back to the bed and I go, you should go for another one, you know, you have full bladder. I'll go back and forth, and I'll nearly give myself a fucking UTI, okay? And so I said this to my therapist. I was like, obviously I have anxiety and it's manifesting this way. Can we work on it? And she goes, sure, you should wear a diaper. It's like, I didn't say I'm wetting the bed. She got so defensive as well. She was like, I don't know why you come to me if you don't want a solution. I was like, but for months we worked on my ability to say no. I'm just doing the thing that you taught me. I mean, it makes sense. She's only $15 an hour. She probably has like an Etsy diaper business on the side. The poor woman. God, I hope she never watches this because she is lovely. Every story I do about someone is just Catholic guilt afterwards. Like, oh God, no, they're very nice. When my family found out I was going to therapy, they were so, specifically my grandparents, because that is just like they just could not get their head around it. My grandfather was going around telling people in our town that I was doing the thing Tom Cruise is doing. I was like, I am not a Scientologist. People were coming up to me when I went home and be like, do you think you're a lizard now, do you? I was like, no, I don't think I'm a lizard. God, I had to undo all this stuff, but then my grandfather kept at me with it. He was like, you don't need to pay for therapy, like $15 an hour. But anyway, he's like, you don't need to pay for it. You can just will away your issues. He goes, I had a fear of flying, and one day I went, pew, gone. Which obviously everybody knows that's not true. That's not real. He doesn't know the truth, though. The truth is my grandmother wanted to go on trips to Spain when this became a thing, but he refused to because of his fear of flying. She's a nurse at home, so she would take Valium from work. She would bring it home. She would crush it up and put it in his food. So for 30 years, this man thinks he willed away his fear of flying. He was just flying high. My grandfather is so Irish. There's a lot of there's been a lot of really bad stereotypes about Irish people, and I don't think any of the previous generations have really said anything about it, except for Gen Z. They're like, stop it. And I get it, you know, there's you call us violent, alcoholics. I've never been violent with anybody, and I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I wouldn't have identified as one until I came to this country, because I'd be talking to Americans, they'd be like, yeah, I'm in AA, and I'm like, oh my God, did you burn down the house? And they're like, no. And I'm like, did you kill the kids? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why are you in AA? And they're like, well, I used to drink Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an alcoholic. No idea. And I agree with a lot of the stereotypes. You know, that's not what Irish people are. But the only issue I have is when you meet my grandfather, he looks like propaganda the Brits would use against us. He's worn a Peaky Blinders hat every day of his life. I have never seen the top of his head. I don't know if he has hair. He's a farmer. Well, he's a Catholic as well, and he's a farmer. He grows his own potatoes because he's like, we'll never let it happen again. His favourite drink is Guinness. He's obsessed with Guinness. He actually has his own seat at the local bar with his own arse print, and he goes there every day and he has his Guinness. When I was 15, my first ever job was in that bar, and the owner was like, you're going to pour your first pint of Guinness and you're going to give it to your grandfather. And he was like, it's going to be a beautiful moment. And then my grandfather sent it back. I said this on stage 2 weeks ago in Dublin, and my sister watched the show, and afterwards she was like, did that really happen to you? And I was like, yeah. And so she's 15 years younger than me. He had done the exact same thing to her. That is the longest bit to keep going. He doesn't like Gen Z. Of course, that's fair. He doesn't relate to them. My sister's Gen Z. And when I was home, she was telling me in front of him that she was being gaslit at school. And my grandfather got such a fright, he thought someone had tried to set her afire. Then she explained what gaslighting is, and he looked like he would have preferred if someone had tried to set her afire.